He doesn't need shiny stories to bring about his glory, but he uses the mess, and it's in that mess that he shines so brightly. My particular story, I feel like really starts in my sophomore year of college when I had a first what I now know to be an attack. And then my junior year is where my disease that I have really came to the surface in the way that I still experience it today. Basically, the disease affects my nervous system, particularly my stomach, my skin, but also my eyes and my mind as well. I remember my junior year just crying out to God and saying, God, I cannot do this for the rest of my life. 17 years later, chronic pain is still very much a part of my life and a part of our lives, in our family's life. And it's still a challenge.
If I were just to describe her experience, there's days where she doesn't want to be touched, where her skin just hurts. There's days when it just puts her in bed for the day or the weekend, and those are really difficult.
I think early on in my journey, there was a lot of me just determined to fix this. It felt very much like a personal weakness, and if I was smart enough and capable enough, I would conquer this. And because of that, there was not a whole lot of inviting God in to the suffering. It was a lot of waiting for him to help me get out of it. Even in the past few years, God just really transforming my story to say, God is powerful enough to heal me. He's also powerful enough to sustain me. In the moments when I'm crying out the most, his presence is really known to me through the people of God and the Word of God. God has asked me to surrender my life to him in each moment. As a wife and a mom, there's a lot of relying on God's power for me to do that every day rather than my own power. My pain definitely impacts my husband, who has learned radical servitude by serving me when I cannot get out of bed, and being a single dad for days on end with our 4 young boys. It's impacted my children to watch their mom suffer and say, God is really, really good, all at the same time.
I see Missy choosing self-sacrificial service. If I have the flu, I'm like, hey, I'm out for the day. I'm just in bed. And she often is hurting and aching and up and making breakfast for the family or cleaning our house or whatever, still trying to interact with the kids with patience and care and thinking about them and their needs. And it's really beautiful what God has created in her. I think if you signed up for life or for marriage and said, this is going to make me really happy, that there would be moments where we'd say, this isn't meeting that plan, that goal. And yet, God, I trust that this is what you've given to us for today. And then our worldview gives us hope that this isn't the story forever, that we'll be restored, and that we just have to be faithful for a moment, faithful one day at a time with what God gives.
My goal would be to live a life that is summarized by Habakkuk 3:17 through 19. And basically it says, though everything is without hope, I'm still going to praise your name and hope in you. And in those moments when it just feels like there is nothing for anyone to do, no doctors, nothing Ben can do, nothing my children can do, or even I can do for myself, that I will hope in the Lord. But holding on to the truth through God's word that he sees me, he knows, he's not going to ask me to do anything he's not already done. He understands physical pain. He understands loneliness. And sometimes when I'm hurting so badly, I picture those who have gone before me saying, keep going. It's gonna be worth it. He will not disappoint. When I get to see him on the other side of this life and he says, well done, miss, I'm proud of you. That's why we keep going. And that's why we want to live a life that's hard in a way that is surrendered. because he is worth it.